Sometimes life gets too hectic to where you don't celebrate Easter. I'm sorry, what? Someone's giving birth? Jonathan, we have an emergency. Good emergency, though. I had to stop what I was doing on stage because someone's actually giving birth. So we're going to call 911. No one's to call 911. We have no cell service in the building. Turn off the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, what? You heard me. I don't want anyone calling 911. I don't want paramedics coming or anything like that. I want you to close the doors. Tell the ushers to close the doors. She's giving birth, she's in full-on labor. Her water's broken, everything. We have to get her to a hospital. I know it sounds crazy, but you have to have some faith in me. We're going to have a natural birth. This is a sign from God. So we're going to lock the doors, not calling 911, and we're going to let this woman give birth naturally. Are you sure about this? Do you just want us to lock up? I'm 100% certain. Alright, I will let them know. Ushers, I'm going to need you to close the doors. Close the doors. Yep. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show everyone the power of this institute. We're going to have our first natural birth here, and please close the doors. No one leaves. Everyone put your phone away. We're not calling 911 or anything like that. We're going to deliver this baby nice and healthy here in the building. Hey Victor, you mind if I hang here a bit? Just to decompress, gather myself. Today it was absolutely horrifying. Yeah, of course. You know I don't mind. My house is your house, but what's the matter? You haven't been on social media or anything like that? No, I don't enjoy social media much. What's wrong? I haven't spoken to my uncle about it. Man, the DMs that I'm getting, things that I'm hearing. Woman died in his institute today. She died giving birth. Baby made it. I'm too scared to call my uncle. I don't know what state of mind he's in right now. But my God, they're gonna shut his whatever you want to call it down. This is not good. Oh my God, my prayers. How did that even occur? You know, she should have been at the hospital. I mean, I'm assuming it was a quick labor, or I'm getting so many like mixed signals from people in the DMs. I don't know exactly what happened. Some people are saying that the ushers took over and shut the doors, started talking about the miracle baby stuff. Other people are saying the priest instructed the ushers to do it. But one thing is for sure, someone shut the Wi-Fi off. There's no service in the building to begin with, so no one could call 911. No one was allowed to leave. Those are the facts, I think. Oh my God, it's just horrible news. I see. I'm sure the truth will come out eventually. Something like that, and thousands of people in the place. You know, I'm sure if it was on the floor, people in the balcony saw something. What about your uncle? What about my uncle? Well, he's the head of the institute. He runs it. He is like the great Wizard of Oz. What was his part? And he's there every Sunday, so what did he do? How did he handle it? He was in his office. I read one DM, two actually, because people just want my opinion, I guess. I think one of them was like part of the news. They told me that first the priest, whatever, I don't think he's a real priest. The guy giving the speech, he was giving this speech, right? And then someone alerted him that this woman was giving birth. He disappeared for a bit. Someone said they thought he went to Jonathan's office. Another person, you can't really see where he went, right? So he comes back And that's when he gives the orders that shut the doors. That's one thing. Other people are saying that the ushers started to close the doors before he came out. So I don't know. You kind of know the man who was giving the speech. You know how your uncle would act. What do you think the story is? Like, what's your opinion? I'm assuming he went to my uncle and said, hey, this woman is giving birth. Or maybe he tried to make a call to 911. I don't know. I can't believe this happened when my uncle was hoping to open a natural birth wing. That ain't happening now. You just had a death on your campus. Oof. Well, even though you're not an official part of the Institute, you are a face. You're someone who has spoken to them. You are associated with this place, so I am sure you're expected to do something here. Unfortunately, what are you going to do today? Have you reached out to you said you didn't reach out to your uncle, correct? I have to call my uncle today, because if I don't give him a call, I look like a terrible nephew. But I'm dreading it because he's definitely pissed off. So did you hear about what happened at the Serafina Town Institute of Faith? That tragedy? Yeah, I did unfortunately hear that. It's terrible news. I don't wish that upon anyone, and of course, it hits close to home because you know how I fear about that stuff with you. Well, you also know that Jonathan, didn't he say he had that psychic in his pocket or something to make you think that? I don't know if that was Jonathan speaking out of his ass to try to mess with me, or if that was an actual psychic prediction. Either way, hearing it happen in that institute, it's just atrocious. Yeah, I can't believe that, like, in this year, something like that would happen, and you know how modern we are as a society. Yeah, and did you hear that they closed the doors and they didn't let anyone out and no one could call 911? And I really feel for the family. I'm glad that the baby made it. That's a miracle. No pun intended. I just can't imagine what the family's going through, but also it's weird to say, but maybe the good thing in all of this will be that that place finally gets shut down. Hopefully, after all of the bullying, or attempted bullying, that Jonathan has done with our family and your nanny Agatha, hopefully this is the reckoning that he's been owed by karma, and hopefully that place gets shut down. Yeah, something doesn't sit right with me, with the uncle, with Jonathan. I really hope he gets justice, and I pray every night that it wasn't him behind Junior's death, because if it was, like, I will find that man myself. You know, actually, Sal, you know, my ex-boyfriend, he came over not too recently and said that Jonathan was planning to do paternity tests on Charlotte and expose Nanny Agatha for corruption in hiding the real results. Well, that's a waste of time. Nanny Agatha wouldn't waste time on faking paternity tests. Especially for, like, if it had to do with Miranda. I don't know. I know, there's nothing there. But it's funny how all he was trying to do was prove a scandal on our end as a family. And now he is facing his own scandal right now. And it's a big one. Yeah. You know what a lot of people don't realize, because I do believe in karma too, is that karma can work fast. But how was it with Sal over at the house, given how bad you guys left off? That's actually what I wanted to speak to you about with Sal. He was actually very nice to me. And it wasn't a bad conversation that we had. Oh. And now you're considering possibly what? Getting back with him? I don't know. That's what I wanted to ask you. I am very depressed. And I don't want to be a burden to anyone. Losing my grandson, I have not been taking it well. At least when Nanny Agatha put me in charge of Stoom, I had that to keep me busy, but now even the best show on TV, even the best video on my phone and best book under my nose does not distract me from the fact that I lost something that gave me an identity and happiness and a longing for the future. And talking to Sal made me feel a little less alone. And I don't know how you feel about that. Me potentially getting back with him. I would never want you to tell me to not be with someone. I would shut down. So I don't think I'm in a position to do that, but I do think that you can do better. And I do think that there are billions of other people out there that you don't have to just go back to him, the toxic, I know this sounds rather pathetic, but where am I? I don't even want to say it. It just makes me sound stupid. No, say it. It's okay. Where am I going to meet someone? I barely hang on to my job at the supermarket. They give me no more hours because they don't like me. I'm there 2 days a week. I know everyone tells me to get hobbies. I don't want hobbies. I have no friends. I'm not saying that in a pity way. I'm just stating facts. I don't have anyone to call anymore. My closest friend is crazy and in prison. Kristen, I'm talking about. So where am I supposed to meet a decent man to fill my time? And believe me, the only reason I'm asking this and considering it is because I dread my own presence and being alone with myself. And I do not want to be a burden on my children anymore. You're doing good, I hope. And Joey is Joey, pursuing his career. I just don't know whether or not that relationship you had with him benefits you. Wasn't it more toxic than it was good? Sal's not perfect, but he has never laid a hand on me. He may speak without restriction, but I did enjoy his company. Okay. What about the fact that he did what he did at my wedding? Spiking my brother's drinks in the attempt to break his sobriety and turn him back into a monster. To what? Prove a point to you that your son can't... that it just takes a feather to throw him off his game? Sick. I don't care. And I don't know why. I should care. He spiked Joey's Mountain Dew. A horrendous sentence. But there's part of me that because Joey is okay, he has not relapsed. I don't care. Alright, you say that though, but good luck with Joey. Because it is kind of hypocritical that you sit here and say that when you give him grief for being with Melissa. You're right, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I say the same thing to Joey and getting on his back about getting back with Melissa. But I kind of miss him. You already have the answers, Mom. The only other thing I'm concerned about is whether or not Sal's being authentic with you. What if he's just doing all this for his new boss? I know. There was part of me that was unsure whether or not he was just in the house on behalf of Jonathan. And that's what makes me feel like a fool. Typically, if I'm not giving a speech to the Serafina Town Institute of Faith that day, I am in my office as the events are going on every Sunday. I usually have a loudspeaker that's with low volume, transmitting the speeches that are going on stage, the sermons and whatnot. I also have a little TV, broadcasted as well. I believe I was on the phone at the moment that everything happened. Okay, and then what? Well, as I was on the phone, I caught a glimpse of the screen and I saw the frantic look on Mike's face. Then he came in and he said that he was speaking so fast, and he was saying something about the ushers and the doors. And that was when I tried to, because he also mentioned the pregnancy stuff. That was when I went to call 911, because, you know, baby's gonna be delivered. And he snatched the phone out of my hand, took it from me actually, and he left. I was so I couldn't find my phone after that because he had thrown it. I followed him out, and I guess I froze. As someone who's the figurehead of this place, why didn't you do more? You know, doesn't look that great from an outsider's perspective who was not there that day. Well, I saw how crazed everyone was getting, and I saw the ushers keeping the doors shut. And so I went back into my office and continued to look for my phone, because I thought maybe we were in some sort of one of those situations that you see on the news. And as the owner of the Serafina Town Institute of Faith, it's the person who runs it, the captain of the ship, I didn't, in an act of cowardice, I didn't deem it necessary for me to be out there with the people. I thought that I could make some commands from the back. And then I heard her giving birth and stuff, and I was just frantically trying to get in touch with 911, and I couldn't do it because I froze in place. Well, you understand, as someone who's supposed to run the Institute and oversee safety, make sure that everyone who sits in your chairs can leave that day healthy, there is a level of neglect placed on your shoulders. Oh, I take any responsibility of neglect, but you have to understand that Mike, the one giving the speech, he was dressed in priest attire. And the ushers, they all kind of acted on their own. What am I going to do? Make a citizen's arrest? I have bad carpal tunnel and arthritis in my hands. I don't really think that I would have been of benefit to start tackling people of my institute. Not that it matters. You don't have to answer this question. I'm just curious myself. Why didn't you have a real priest? Why is he a fake priest? Well, last incident that happened with a priest that we hired, he went rogue with our miracle baby, and he's in jail now. So I, to my own shame, hired someone who was not actually a priest, but someone who was better at public speaking, and presented him to the people as a priest. I don't know what was going through his mind on the day of that woman giving birth, who I have said plenty of prayers to and feel horrible for her child. I don't know if he was the one that gave the orders to the ushers, or if the ushers acted on their own. It's all a big blur to me. Well, I'm sure you're not gonna be shocked if you get any lawsuits or see some turmoil show up at your doorstep, given the fact that this was a very unsettling incident for the town, and a lot of the responsibility bears on your shoulder. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get sued, potentially shut down, right? What about me? Am I going to jail because some other people who work for me acted on their own impulses? Because that doesn't sound quite fair to me. At the current moment, it's an ongoing investigation. So you are essentially being investigated. There's a lot of missing information about that day. We're getting different reports from everybody. Okay. That's my statement. Anything else coming after my statement will be from my lawyer. Consider yourself privileged for getting this statement out of me at all. I would definitely get some of the best lawyers, because this doesn't look that good for you. Someone in your position as a police officer shouldn't be giving opinions like that. If you were in a judge's outfit or a prosecutor's cheap collared shirt, then maybe. But other than that, I pay taxes, meaning I pay you, so get the hell out of my house. And have a wonderful day. Don't eat too many donuts. They're fattening.